Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 9th of August. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Pio.
Gary, another big weekend as we head very quickly, I'm holding the reins of a horse now, as we gallop towards the end of winter, Gary.
Nothing underneath you there, isn't
and
there?
the start of spring. Looking forward to getting this horrible weather behind us, and I'm looking forward to the flowers coming out of the ground and the birds and the bees chirping, and I'm looking forward to people feeling toey in the marketplace.
What's the horse story? Is that because the Melbourne Cup's around the corner?
Correct,
Or
spring racing carnival.
You got a spring in your step, haven't you, Phil? And you had a bit of a spring in your step on the weekend. It was all happening. And how about that grand old flag? Hey, we haven't even spoken about
Melbourne
that.
supporters, we salute.
People were crying.
We salute Paul Roos, given the fact we were bagging him only about 2 months ago.
Love him now.
But we salute Melbourne, crushed Hawthorn, Gary.
Big footy news.
Bit of a round surprise. It's good.
And now the Olympics are on.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think there's a shot, actually, the Olympic Games shot of us two in our competitive days up on the screen there, doing a little bit of the jiu-jitsu, karate, kung fu there, Philip.
So viewers, that is a photo from
No.
1980.
It's not an
86, I think.
No,
summer of 85.
Before we
and that was taken at the, what was the hotel? It was in Pattaya Beach. The Royal Beach Yacht Club at Pattaya.
It was called Royal Hotel or something like that.
Royal Beach, anyway. That was, we climbed into the ring and
went a few rounds.
What you don't see is Gary being taken away via ambulance at the end of that round.
Come on, I think I came out on top there.
But I've got to tell you, that photo, you actually look quite fit. There was a time in your life where you were fit and strong.
There was. I was pretty exhausted after that little, just taking that still for the
anyway,
shot.
Talking about the Olympic Games, into it or not?
No. Not this year.
Do you know what? I don't know. There's something about this game that is a complete non-event.
I'm into all the crimes that are happening. All the news
Actually,
about
they're handing out Olympic gold medals. There's the best kidnapping, the best shooting, the best death via carjacking.
That's right. And I think the Russian blokes won the best defence so far because someone had a go and he just popped him and that was it. The Russian.
That was one of the ambassadors.
Yeah, I tell you, they're in the news, the Russians, aren't they? Because they've been in trouble now for cheating, and now they're just killing people as well. So, anyway, not a big year for Russia, but it will be interesting to see. Hopefully the Aussies will go well. Phil, we should have a bit of an update.
Speaking of the Russians, Gary, watching a great series at the moment called The Americans. I might have mentioned this a week or two ago.
What's that to do with Russia, given it's about the Americans?
Because they're Russian spies that are embedded into American society. So, viewers, you want to watch a great show? Americans. Good show. Got nothing to do with real estate, so let's talk about the weekend that was, Gary.
Let's do that.
Unfortunately, viewed, we were average on the weekend, which is something that Gary and I have never been as average. No. We've always been well below average.
At school.
But yes, very sad. We had a 70% clearance rate against the industry average, which was 70%. So very embarrassed to say, viewers, that we were average on the weekend. But that doesn't mean we didn't have some standout results.
We didn't. We had a couple of actually houses in a row that didn't sell. So it's sort of, I guess,
a development site.
It's warped the stats because there was a number of homes there that sort of dragged that number down. But we did have some very strong results. We started off in Canterbury Road in St Kilda, and the Samuel boys were down there selling that property for 211, which is more than other sales.
So viewers, I think we need to focus on this for just a moment because that was a sale. That's the full price, not the deposit. That's the full price.
But we don't care. We bring it on.
We love selling small real estate.
No home too big, no home too
as I
small.
said in the sales meeting yesterday, Gary, the small fish taste the sweetest.
For those that eat fish.
But 211,000, and we're very proud because there were better units sold in the building in the last, I think the last month or so, for 207 and 210.
We did it
Both of those were renovated, so 211 is the record price in that building.
Philip, I rocked up after I got my eggs and orange juice from the St Kilda market, Philip, the farmers market just near Luna Park there, Shakespeare Grove. I did rock up to Jeremy's auction, and that was in Inkerman Street, Philip. He did a great job. There's some shot on the screen right now. But Jeremy did a very, very good job, sold that particularly well in excess of reserve for $860,000. So well done to you, Mr. Rosens. Congratulations. We move on to Neeram Road, Phil, of which we sold that church, and that was a very successful
first church
sale.
I think we've ever sold, Gary.
I think so. I'm not sure.
So we've been in the business a long time for our first church.
Well, we could be on a bit of a church roll now, Phil.
A renovated church that was used as an art gallery, Gary, by a famous artist.
Yes.
And we passed Anthony Breslin.
We did.
Yeah. We passed that in at auction. auction, but sold it within 2 hours of the auction. We class that as a successful auction.
We did, Philip. We didn't sell Judah Street. It's now for sale. Great value there at $399,000 on your screen. But we did have a terrific auction at 530 Glen Ira Road. Now, this is a great case study in real estate, Phil.
This is amazing.
Sold on Sunday morning. The reserve was, I think, just over 1.2.
Can I just jump in for a moment? I won't spoil your punchline.
No, don't, because you know I've got a good story,
They say that real estate doubles in Melbourne on average every 10 years.
Yes.
Now, for the purists and the statisticians that are watching, sometimes they double in 7 or 8 years, and sometimes it takes 13 or 14 years. But if we say on average 10 years, property prices in Melbourne
have doubled.
Double every 10 years. Gary, bit of a drum roll.
There it is.
There it is.
Thank you.
This was sold 10 years ago, almost to the month, Gary. What price did it sell for?
$600,000.
And we sold it for what, Gary?
We sold it for $1,490,000, Philip.
So that's not doubling,
That's
Gary,
150%.
in 10 years?
$10,000 off, 150% increase.
Nice story here, though, Gary. An investor bought it 10 years ago for $600,000. They've enjoyed a rent from the property. It was virtually never vacant.
They didn't change it much at all.
They spent very little money on it. Might have been a coat of paint and some freshened lino, but absolutely no more than it, and made 150% capital gain.
And what
in
it does
10
say,
years.
what the punchline is, or maybe what the tag on, Philip, is that for those people that think that main road properties don't go up in value, well, there you go. Case in point, Phil. This one's gone up 150%.
And if you think about the main roads that we sell on regularly, Glen Ira Road is a pretty main road, and it's a long road, and yet we had 2 sales in Glen Ira Road, both at very strong prices on the weekend.
We did, Phil.
Bamborough Road we sell all the time, Balaclava, Inkerman, all of these, even North Road and Dandenong Road, Gary.
You're covering most of Melbourne now,
viewers, if you drive down Dandenong Road at night, you'll see lights on in every property.
No vacancies, or not many.
The reality is people will always buy on main roads, sometimes at a discount, but that doesn't mean they don't go up in line with the rest of the market.
Indeed, Philip, you were right about Glen Ira Road, the other one we sold that was very, very popular. We're looking at the reserve on the day at 1.4, which I think probably would have been dropped down a little bit if it needed to be. But anyway, it did sell for $1,435,000, a competitive auction. 4 bidders, I think.
4 bidders,
4 buyers
bidders,
there. So that was terrific. Philip Lambert Road was sold, an undisclosed amount, but well done on that sale because
that was
got a lot
our
of attention.
Standout mid-century home, of which we claim to be Melbourne's preeminent mid-century home specialist.
We do.
We have sold more mid-century homes than any other agent in Melbourne.
We believe and we claim.
And no, I think if it was put to the test, if there was a forensic auditor, Gary, that decided to come down and test that theory, I'm going to stand behind it.
Get the thumbs up on the tick.
Which means if someone's got to go to jail over that extravagant claim, I'll cop it.
Very good. Well, it was only a matter of time, wasn't it, Philip? We then move on to Polo Parade. We finished and brought the curtain down on the weekend.
What a great story. Prices
extraordinary, isn't it? Yes.
But here we have 150 people at the auction, Gary. We know that we've got 4 interested parties.
Well, we thought we did.
Well, we knew they were there. All present and accounted for. We could not get anybody to bid. Sometimes at the top end of the market it's like that. We passed it in on a vendor bid of $3 million.
And lots of people scratching their heads at that stage.
Absolutely.
What is going on here?
Within an hour and a quarter, we went into intensive negotiations with 4 parties. We were backwards and forwards. We were into the vendor's room, out of the vendor's room, upstairs, downstairs, outside.
In the pool, down the back.
We did
through the garage.
We did sell that at a price that the vendor is very happy about. It is undisclosed, but so far in excess of the passed-in price, it's not funny.
And not only in excess of the
Speculate as you might.
Not only in excess of the passing price, but actually in excess of the reserve price as well. So, and this is why we say week in, week out on the show, Philip, it's so important to put your hand up at auctions, because if you have your hand up and we pass into you, you'll be offered the property at the reserve.
And
we tell you the
exclusive
reserve,
rights.
you take it, it's sold, and that's it. But if you don't, well, you can be subject to the negotiation strengths of the team, Gary Purcell.
But this is one of the things, viewers, that we do very well. We do auctions very well, but our passed-in negotiations are incredible because we've always got a big team of our colleagues there. It means that we can make sure that no stone is left unturned getting the best price.
And we're very modest about that too.
I hate that saying. I didn't leave any stone unturned.
Let's talk about this weekend. Phil, it's not such a busy weekend this weekend. It's a little bit quiet. And speaking to other agents on the weekend as well, Philip, there is a bit of a issue in our industry where the volume is down. Prices are high, results are good, clearances are high, money's cheap, but the volume's down.
Couple of things talking about volume, Gary, that's completely unrelated.
Yes,
right?
let's go into unrelated
But,
territory. That's
shout
great.
out to my mother and a shout out to my
Hey,
father.
it's your dad's birthday tomorrow.
It is.
August the 10th.
It is,
It is.
absolutely.
Both
So-
of our dads, same birthday.
Correct. So happy birthday to your departed dad.
Yes,
but,
I remember
a
him.
man that lived a long and happy
I'll
life.
be off to go where his final place is
Good,
at rest
good.
tomorrow.
But
Yep.
shout out to my father. Birthday tomorrow.
It is.
But shout out to my mother on Wednesday night. Now, she would go ballistic
Yes.
if I gave away her age.
She looks fantastic.
The question is, will I, won't I say what
She's a
birth-
very attractive woman.
Well, all I can say,
She's a
Gary,
spunk.
thank you
Can
for
I
that.
say that? Is that
Clearly,
inappropriate?
it was not.
Say that?
I mean,
She's
obviously,
a spunk.
the gene pool has worked its way down. But a very special
comment.
birthday, a big number birthday, viewers, and she certainly doesn't look as old as she's turning.
She's very youthful and very vibrant, isn't she, Phil?
She's not the easiest woman, though, let's face it.
You know, she's had you as a son for the last 50-something years. You can't blame her. She's been beaten down.
Yes, but shout out to my mum and dad, big birthday celebrations, and my sisters are coming down from Sydney,
isn't that
Gary.
great?
Bless their hearts, it's the least they could do, just
Absolutely,
quietly.
exactly right.
Yeah,
It's about time they put
they
in.
come down. They come down for the big birthdays, right?
Yes.
They don't bother coming down for the other ones, right?
No,
In
of
fact,
course
this is
not.
the first birthday I think they've come down for in years. But you know what's going to happen, don't you? I do all the hard work
course.
all year.
Yes,
They
exactly
come
right.
down on the signature
And
birthday.
it'll be like they'll walk in there and they'll
yeah.
go, oh, darling, they'll just push you to the side. Yes. And then Philip, can you make a cup? Philip, can you take out the bin?
Philip who?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All
Don't
they
you love that?
do nothing all year, but they're going to come down like these
Exactly right, yeah,
golden girls.
princesses,
Oh,
yeah.
mum, oh,
Exactly
dad, oh, it's so good to see
exactly
you.
right, yeah.
And I'll just sit there in the corner
Exactly right,
going,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
good
Exactly
luck
right.
to you.
And it'll be 11 o'clock and they'll go, oh, is Philip still here? And you'll be, oh, I've been sitting in the corner for the last 4 hours. Let's move on to our auctions, Philip, get away from family politics. We're the only ones that have family politics.
Ideas at garypeer.com.au.
Yeah, bring us your family politics
If you've
stories.
got problems with your family, we've got plenty of experience with problem families.
Oh, we've got a bit happening there, Phil. But show me a family that doesn't have issues, and I'll show you a family that's not telling the truth, Phil. We got to love them, though, don't you, Philip? Let's talk about
family
auctions.
at the end of the day is family, Gary.
It is family. You're right,
Can't
Phil.
live with them, you
Can't live without them. That's it, Philip. And you know, not everyone's as easy as you and I are with family. You know,
Yeah,
we're just delightful, aren't we?
they're so blessed.
And they would all say that about us. Phil, let's move on to this weekend's auctions because on Saturday you're off. You are like a prawn in the sun. You're off. You just get out. We don't want to see you on Saturday. You're going to have a day off, Philip. And
Beautiful.
I'm taking the reins. I've got 3 of the 4 auctions we're doing.
Let's have a look at
starting
them.
off in Brighton Road in Elwood for this amazing one-bedroom apartment. I say amazing, Phil, because, you know, there are a lot of one-bedroom apartments around, but very few that have the features this one has. It's in a great block. It's got a great floor plan and it's in beautiful condition throughout, Phil.
Yes, it is, Gary. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, but generous and oversized and beautifully renovated.
That's at 10:30, Philip. I'm looking forward to that one. And tennis, anyone?
Well, why not, Gary?
Yes, indeed. You can do it in Fulton Street. This is a unique block, Phil. It's got the tennis court and the swimming pool. It is club metal around. It's like Melrose Place.
Well, have
right in the middle of East
have
St
a look,
Kilda.
have a look at this development.
Yeah, I love
There's
it.
not in a million years would you do a development like this today because it's got so much from a developer's point of view
Absolutely.
of wasted land.
It has, Phil.
But a tennis court and a swimming pool, and this is a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space apartment right in the heart of East St Kilda. Who would have thought you'd have such amenity?
Jervois or Jervois?
Jervois, Gary.
Jervois. I like Jervois. Anyway, Philip.
You like Jervois?
I like Jervois. The first time I heard it. This one goes up, Philip, at 11:30 a.m. Looking forward to this auction. I'm going to be meeting Leon there. Take us through this wonderful property. Great
Well,
street.
Gary, we love those streets. The heart of East St Kilda, walking distance to Carlisle Street, and of course the tram and Dandenong Road. We see deep value in these properties because it's livable beautifully today, but just waiting for somebody, subject to council approval, to do a renovation there.
As you go up Hawthorn Road, just towards Dandenong Road, Philip, from where we're sitting, on the right-hand side, you've got this beautiful block number 19 Hawthorn Road. We've sold there in the past. It's a terrific quality block of apartments, and we've got number 7 coming up, Philip.
Gary,
I think
you're
that's at 12:30.
anchored by Glenferrie Road on one side and Caulfield Park on the other, so it really doesn't get any better than that. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space.
Indeed, Philip. And on Sunday, well, we're going to be here at our feature property of the week. And
Gary,
we are right in
I'm
the heart
excited
of it.
to talk about this property because
Road.
I've known this property and the owners for decades.
Yes,
and
indeed.
you know what? It's the general theme that beautiful, nice homes have beautiful, nice vendors.
And this is
and they're listening in the other room, so hopefully they heard that. But it's all true, because Langdon Road, firstly, a quality address. We're also on the west side of the street.
Well, you know that I live in one of the parallel streets here, so I find this to be the best part of Caulfield North. I love it here.
Well, Gary, you might live in a street near here, but your street is not a patch on Langdon Road, so don't try to upsell yourself and your family and your real estate by hanging off the back of Langdon Road.
I'm going to.
It's a nice street where you live, but it's not Langdon Road. This is west-facing back garden. It's on a larger than usual parcel of land. It's a gorgeous solid brick family home that has been beautifully looked after by one owner. It's only ever had one owner, Gary, and they are reluctantly moving on. The children have flown the coop, so they're moving on. They're downsizing to a gorgeous.
They're out of here, Phil.
They're to a gorgeous apartment, but they move on reluctantly. And why wouldn't you move on reluctantly?
And with a heavy heart.
Gary, the spaces here are incredible, but let's focus on that back garden for a moment with its stunning swimming pool. It's sunlit all year round. You just couldn't find a better family home.
No, this is a beauty. It doesn't get any better than this in terms of address or style or quality. We're looking forward to seeing you here. There's a chance it could get sold before auction
Gary,
too.
we're working on it at the moment.
It may happen, so if so, well, you know, I guess you'll have to move on to our next auction because we've got one more to
Speaking of our next auction, Gary, number 19 Remuera Street in Caulfield South.
Well, Remuera is the best, I think it's the best suburb in Auckland.
Well, I do know Remuera because my mother grew up in Auckland, Gary, and she did at one stage live in Remuera.
Is that a suburb in Auckland?
Oh, yeah.
It's like the Toorak of Auckland. So I went to an office there with you.
You did, Gary, absolutely.
To Barfoot and Thompson, our friends.
Barfoot and Thompson, we'll talk more about them on another issue, on another episode. But Remuera, first of all, a shout out to the guys at Pitch, young developers that are just setting the world on fire with quality projects. We're blessed to be able to work with them, Gary. That house that they've done is really just a feature property for them and for us.
With a P or with a B? Because there's a big difference.
Pitch, Gary.
Oh, right,
P
okay,
for
good.
Peter or Philip Pitch.
To make sure of that, okay.
No, Gary. Pitch is their name, but they're just delightful guys.
They are.
Young guys.
They've got a big reputation. I was being silly.
Well, Gary, their thought process is they want to do developments that they can be eternally proud of. And that's one beautiful home on a magnificent parcel of land in Remuera Street, which is a brilliant street in Caulfield South.
You know, we're going to do something unusual. We don't do it often, Philip, but I think we should run the video of this property on the show.
Let's run parts of it, Gary, because it is 3 minutes, but we'll just give you some highlights.
Okay.
Gary, what a gorgeous home. Looking forward to the auction there. Should go well.
Looking forward to that one, Philip. It's something unique in the market.
Yes.
And we're going to be rounding out Sunday, a quiet weekend, relatively speaking, but it won't stay quiet for long, Phil, because we're getting into the spring buzz.
Let's talk spring, Gary, because you, given the fact that you are the ultimate writer, you've always been a great writer.
A writer for someone.
And you had an article published in the PRW last week.
I did.
What was that article about,
It was
Gary?
preparing for spring, and you can get that from the PRW, or if you just want to email us on ideas@garypeer.com.
Ideas@garypeer.com.
We'll send it out to you, but if you're preparing for spring now, it has a few different thoughts and processes and ideas around it, Philip, because before you know it, it's going to be too late.
Well, Gary, it's spring in 3 weeks.
That's it.
Spring has sprung.
So right now, if you want to list for an auction, you've got no choice but to go in spring or later.
Keep in mind, if you signed on with us today, your auction is going to be late September already or early October.
Well, you've got the grand final weekend. You've got to look out for the Saturday.
So, but let's talk about it. So you're virtually talking about clients coming on board for October now.
Yep.
So we've got October, November, first 3 weeks of December, all over till
That's it.
2017.
It came around quick, didn't it?
Can you believe it?
It's frightening. Anyway, it's certainly the time to start thinking and planning. If you want to sell this year, it's crept up on you very quickly, viewers. So get moving because not much time, and otherwise it's next year, February, March.
And on top of it, looks like it's going to be a quietish spring.
Yeah, not looking
so
like it's going to be a
great
flood.
time to be a seller because you'll really have the market to yourself to a degree.
Indeed. And we look forward to helping you through spring and keeping you advised of what's going on in winter, Phil, because we've got a little bit of winter left, although some of the weather's been pretty good, hasn't it?
Sunday was beautiful.
Sunday was beautiful.
Yep.
It's beautiful and sunny, so it's been a good winter, hasn't it,
And
Phil?
just a little personal thing, Gary, I wouldn't mind saying to you that your face has recovered brilliantly.
Thanks so much for
I
that.
had viewers ringing me. I must have taken 400 calls about the viewers saying,
thought something was wrong,
Scary Monster was on the
Right.
show.
Yeah, kids were running away at our auctions.
But,
it was bad.
but remarkably, as I have a close look at you, you're actually,
He did all
you're
right,
actually
didn't he?
looking pretty
the
good.
doctor wasn't botched after all. He did okay. It's all good.
You know, you see those Hollywood shows
my wife watches
about plastic surgery gone wrong.
I know. I walk. Well, my wife watches them. Sometimes I'll come home and I walk on the television. There'll be some breast on someone's head, or there'll be some awful, thing, and I just can't understand.
Well,
that whole
viewers
botched
were
again.
concerned, Gary, that you were looking a bit like
Like
that.
botched,
But it's remarkable how quickly you've bounced back.
Thanks, Phil.
When the second part of your surgery actually happens, I reckon you'll look a treat.
Thanks
Viewers, winter is almost over. Spring is upon us. The real estate market is going gangbusters. We want to see you this weekend at our auctions. If it's
Have a coffee.
If all
Come and
it
have a
is
coffee.
just come and have a coffee with us,
and
or a
chat.
bottle of water, or a chup, or get yourself a voucher to Las Chicas.
Come with some compliments for me, some insults for Phil, and make yourself at home. We look forward to seeing you out and about on the hustings, Philip, as you would like to say.
Have a great week. Thanks for watching.
Bye.